जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। परतत्त्वे सदा लीनो रामकृष्णः समाज्ञया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो वीरेशं तं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Namaste to all of you. Shubhadinam, and wish you all once again a healthy day, a healthy period of the pandemic and the lockdown till May 3rd. And as we go forward in our life journey, we were discussing the different ways, different steps to control the mind, to keep the mind steady like a lamp in a windless place. And yato yato nischarati manas chanchalam astiram. For whatsoever reason the mind is under distraction, scattered, disturbed, positively, fully conscious, let us bring it back to the Atman, to the center of our consciousness, to the center of our being. Arjuna's question was discussed yesterday. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Krishna's advice, Krishna's suggestion is Abhyasa Yoga and Vairagya. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, Vairagyena cha grihyate. That all these steps have to be followed by us, and slowly the mind will be under our control, or it can be focused on the meditation, focused on japa, focused on prayer, focused on life itself. Having said that, there's a very important sadhana which all of us have to take. That is the purity of mind, which is a fundamental law in spiritual life, a fundamental need in spiritual life. Shaucha, 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 Patanjali Maharshi's exhortation to us, teaching to us in the Niyama aspect of his Yoga Sutras, of the Ashtanga Yoga. Shaucha, Shaucha, cleanliness, cleanliness, which is a synonym for purity. We have to be very alert. We have to be wide awake, as the scriptures say. And Patanjali Maharshi has given an example of the cornea, of the eyeball. He compares the mind of a yogi to an eyeball, to the cornea, a tiny dust particle. As we are going out in the street or in the gardens or outside, a tiny dust particle which enters into the eyeball, which we cannot see but which we can feel. Similarly, with the present coronavirus, the unseen enemy, which is very tiny, but it is taking away lives after lives, lakhs of lives as it were. So when we compare that eyeball to the mind, which is much more subtle, which was much more sophisticated, much more sensitive, how much careful we should be. The tiny dust particle which falls into the eye, it creates irritation, it creates reddishness, it creates infection. And accidentally, if we rub, maybe the scratch on the cornea will damage the whole sight. So compare it with much more sensitive, the mind, which is not an object, which is an emotion, which is a memory, which is so powerful. So without such a sensitive and alert mind, a pure mind, we cannot meditate, we cannot lead a pure life, a spiritual life. For that, let us go back to the Upanishads. Chandogya Upanishad, this is oft quoted, this taught in the meditation classes, taught by all the gurus and all the great masters in the past and in the present. That shloka is as follows. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi, sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi, smruter lambe sarva granthinam vipra mokshaha. This is from the Chandogya Upanishad. Ahara shuddhau, if the food is pure, or through purity of food comes purity of mind. Ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhihi. Sattva is the thoughts, is the emotions, is the mind. Through purity of mind, sattva shuddhau, dhruva smritihi. Smriti, the memory power of truth, will become very steady. Dhruva smritihi, smruter lambhe, and when one gets this memory of truth for a long period of time, not for an hour, not for a day, not for a week, but continuously. Smruter lambhe, sarva granthinam vipra mokshaha, all the knots of the heart will be cut aside, will be cut asunder. Vipra mokshaha, who is a Vipra? The seeker, the student, the meditator, the man at work who is full of knots, full of the granthis, full of the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madamatsarya playing truant within the subconscious mind. From that, this yogi, this meditator, and all of us, all of you can become free. Mokshaha, freedom, freedom, freedom. That is the watchword, that is the call of the Upanishads. I repeat again, so all of you can listen carefully and practice it, understand the meaning of it also. Ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhihi, sattva shuddhau, dhruva smritihi, smruter lambhe, sarva granthinam vipra mokshaha. Through purity of food comes purity of mind. Through purity of mind comes a steady memory of truth. And when one gets this memory, one becomes free, moksha, from all the knots of the heart. Sarva granthinam vipra mokshaha. Is this not what you want? Is this not what we want? Is this not what the people want? Freedom, freedom, freedom. Each soul is potentially divine. Swami Vivekananda had mentioned this in his Raja Yoga introduction. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, internal and external. By controlling nature, Bahya Prakriti, and the Antarika Prakriti, the Manasika Prakriti. Control that, purify that, put it in the right path, put it in yoga. How to do this? Do this either by work, karma yoga, worship, bhakti yoga, psychic control, dhyana yoga, also called Raja Yoga, and philosophy, Gnana Yoga, or self-analysis, self-understanding. These four yogas, Vivekananda says, take one, take two, or combine all the four and be free. This is religion. This is religion, he calls it. Each soul is potentially divine. Please memorize this teaching also. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. All other things are secondary details. So to gain freedom, we have to first gain the purity of mind, clean the mind, recycle the mind, and then we shall go forward in our life, in our spiritual journey. We were discussing the purity of mind. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi. Aharam, generally it means food that goes through the mouth. It can be bread, it can be chapati, it can be rice, it can be idli, anything that we are taking. Yes, it has to be pure, it has to be clean, it has to be cooked well, it should be done in a good atmosphere. So that affects the mind also. Yoga psychology says when we start taking the food and its digestion process is commenced in the stomach, intestines, etc., and the liver produces the digestive enzymes, so the food breaks into particles, the rice and chapati, etc., breaks into particles, and the grossest part of the food becomes the stools, and next day it gets cleaned off. The body is pure. The gross part of the food becomes our body. That is why we call the body as Annamaya Kosha, product of food. So if there is poison in the food, if there is uncooked food, or somewhere we have taken food that is not assimilated to the stomach just because it is tasty, Naturally, there will be dehydration, there will be dysentery, there will be vomitings. The body rejects that food. So there also there is purity in the body. One is through stools, the second is the digestion. The third aspect, the essence of the food, the subtle aspect of the aharam becomes our mind, becomes the thoughts. So the third angle is ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. If the food is pure, the mind will be pure. So take care of the surroundings, take care of the food that you are taking, take it as prasadam, take it as an offered food of God. Offer anything to the divine, to Ishta Devata. It can be Sri Ramakrishna, it can be Durga, it can be Shiva. Offer it to that being for a few minutes. Meditate, pray, and then take it as prasadam in the afternoon or in the evening. That will give you a good mind, a good sleep also, and a calm mind throughout the day. So food affects the mind. Rajasika food, please reduce. Tamasika food, give up, and take the sattvika food, and occasionally have some good attitude towards the food. So now the second meaning of the food, which has been given by Shankaracharya, is not just the physical food. We should have the food, pure food, going through the senses. The pure food through the senses. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These five are absorbing knowledge, absorbing the food directly instead of through the physical system, through the physical body. So when we see something powerful, something useful, that will have good effect on the mind. Darshanam. The second is Shravanam, listening to music, listening to bhajans, listening to certain wonderful talks, listening to the chanting of the scriptures, that is going directly to the mind. Shravanam. Patanam, the third aspect, please take care, is what you read. The material that you read, the content in the newspapers or in the other books, let that also be pure, because that will affect the subconscious mind. So Shravanam, Darshanam, and the Patanam. And there are few more other things which we shall discuss. So all of us know in childhood we were taught Gandhiji's moral lessons of the three monkeys with eyes closed, ears closed, and the mouth closed. Don't see evil, don't speak evil, don't listen to evil or bad things. But Swami Yatishwaranandaji, the second generation of the monastic disciples, the great monks of the Ramakrishna order, had been to Switzerland, and when he was in a shop for purchasing some things, he saw three monkeys, monkey dolls rather. One monkey, left eye closed, the right eye was opened. The second monkey, the left ear closed, like this, the left ear closed, and the right ear is opened. The third monkey, only half mouth closed. This second half is opened. He was wondering, what is this? What is this? And he thought for 2 minutes, and he says in his book, Meditation and Spiritual Life, he said, it flashed into my mind the Rigvedic prayer, the Shanti Mantra prayer, which all of you may be knowing, or some of you may be knowing, which he said, Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha, O gods, help us to listen what is good. So the first monkey is telling, you may not listen to evil, but listen to positive, pure things. Bhadram Karne Vishrunuyama Devaha, Bhadram Pashye Maksha Bhiryajatraha, with my eyes, help me to see what is good, O Lord. Sthirairangai Stuštuvagam Sastanubihi, with my body, let me do good, let me meditate, let me lead a good life. And also, when the third monkey is telling, is showing only half mouth closed, it is saying, speak good. You cannot be numb and dumb. You can speak, but speak good. Positive words, encouraging words, mrudubhashi, pleasant words can also be spoken. That is also a reflection of a pure mind, a calm mind. So, ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhihi. So, one is the physical food, the second is the food that goes through the indriyas, through the nose, through the mouth, through the ears, through the eyes, through the touch. Let that be pure. For that it requires discrimination. We have to discriminate between the good and the bad. We have to discriminate between the temporary and the permanent. We have to discriminate between pleasure and happiness. And this is how our life becomes meaningful, peaceful, and it flows like a river flows like Mother Ganga pleasantly and happily. You also happy and others also are happy. One more thing I would like to suggest today, and subsequently you can practice at home, is offering food. ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना. You see, this is Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 24th sloka, which is chanted in all traditional places, in all our mats, and in many places in the Tirtha Kshetras. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, offer everything to God. That is the real aspect of our great tradition. The fire that is helping you to cook the food is Brahman or God. The ladle, the handle which you are using to mix the food, mix the sambar, mix the rice, mix other items, that is also God. One who is consuming the food is God. The consumed item is God, and one who is serving the food is God. That is why in North India, in Haridwar and other places, they call it Pani Ram. They bring water and say Pani Ram, Pani Ram, Pani Ram. Namak Ram, the salt is Ram. And they say Roti Ram, Chawal Ram, Sabji Ram. They add the word Rama there because that sanctifies the purpose, sanctifies the food. And when we are taking it, it is not just a hotel food or a fast food, it gives us so much of pleasantness. You have Tirupati Laddu, the prasadam, gives you that purity. You take it with respect. You go to a Ganesha temple, offer food, offer some laddus, and you offer it. Before you take, you just do namaskaram to it, and then you distribute it also with lot of love and faith. So all these external things matters because we need more purity external, and that external purity and prayer at the time of eating and later on, that gives us purity of mind, a pleasantness of mind. So please practice all this during this pandemic period, during the lockdown period where we have to stay put and continue our meditation, continue your housework, your office work with pleasantness, with calmness, and with lot of gratitude towards the divine. May he, Sri Ramakrishna, protect us all. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.